The change did not stop. It accelerated. Michael felt it before he understood it. Not pain, not fear, something deeper. Alignment. At first, it was subtle, almost easy to ignore. A shift in perception, a delay in reaction. Then, the delay disappeared. His body no longer waited for the world. It moved with it. Something inside him was no longer reacting. It was tuning. The city sounded different now. Not louder, not clearer, structured, distant metal contracting in the cold. Loose cables swaying between rooftops, fragments of glass shifting somewhere far below. Each sound had direction. Each movement had intent. And beneath it all, something else. Electrical interference. Faint, constant, not random. A pattern. Michael stood on the rooftop, motionless. His eyes closed slowly. Not to rest, to isolate. The wind moved across the broken skyline. Cold, sharp. It carried debris, dust, fragments of a dead world. But now, even the wind had structure. He listened deeper, beyond the physical, beyond sound. And then, he felt it. There, a signal. Faint, but undeniable. It did not come from a direction. It did not travel. It existed, everywhere at once. Michael's breathing slowed. Not consciously. His body adjusted. Pulse dropping. Muscles relaxing. Focus sharpening. Not control. Recalibration. As if something inside him was aligning with a system that had always been there. Then, his eyes opened. Slowly. Across the skyline. Lights flickered. One building. Then another. Then a third. Not random. Sequential. Like nodes activating. Michael watched. Still, the pattern continued. Far in the distance, a streetlight dimmed, then brightened. A tower window flickered twice, then stabilized. The city was not dead. It was reorganizing. And for the first time, Michael understood something that had always been there. The silence of the city was not emptiness. It was suppression. Something beneath it was waking up. Below him, movement, slow at first, a shape passing through fog, then another. Michael did not look down immediately. He already knew. The signal had shifted, not just outward, toward him. He stood at the edge of the rooftop and did not move, because for the first time, movement felt unnecessary. The system did not require it. And somewhere deep inside that structure, something recognized him, not as a target, not as a threat, but as part of the equation. Michael inhaled slowly. The air felt heavier now, denser, charged, like the moment before a storm breaks, but stretched across the entire city. He stepped forward, not to act, to confirm. And in that instant, the signal responded, not louder, closer, and Michael understood. This was not the beginning. It was a transition. Something had already started, and now it was accelerating. The first hunter emerged from the fog. It did not rush. It did not react. It stepped forward once and stopped. Its posture remained still, balanced, watching, but not like before. There was no hunger in its stance, no immediate aggression, no urgency, only focus. Michael did not move. The distance between them held, not out of caution, out of something else. Understanding. The hunter tilted its head slightly, a familiar motion, but this time, different, not analyzing, responding, as if it felt something it had not encountered before. A second shape appeared behind it, faster. Its movement cut through the fog sharply, more defined, more aggressive. It did not stop immediately. One step, then another, closer. Its posture tightened, muscles prepared, weight shifting forward. Ready. Michael felt the difference instantly. Not all of them were the same. The signal did not affect them equally. The first remained still, connected. The second resisted, testing. A third figure stepped into view and did not move at all. It stood in complete stillness, but the air around it changed. Subtly, then completely. Pressure. Heavy. Dense. like something was compressing the space itself. Michael's body reacted, not with fear, with awareness. That one was different, stronger, more stable, more aligned. He took a step forward, deliberate, controlled. The first hunter mirrored him, perfectly, not delayed, not approximate, exact. The second hunter reacted immediately, a sharp twitch, a shift in stance, almost an attack. Then, it stopped, abruptly, as if something cut through its motion. Its muscles tightened, holding against an invisible force. Michael felt it. The boundary, not physical, not visible, but absolute. Some of them were drawn to him. Others were resisting the influence. And some could not ignore it. The second hunter shifted again, not forward, to the side, circling, looking for an angle, a weakness, a break in whatever was holding it back. Michael turned his head before the movement completed. Not reflex, recognition. He was no longer reacting. He was anticipating. The air between them distorted, barely visible, but real. The second hunter froze mid-motion, its body locked, muscles fighting something unseen, not stopping by choice. Stopped. A moment passed, then another. The resistance broke, but not forward, backward. One step, slow, measured, not fear. Adjustment. The first hunter moved closer, within the boundary, then stopped. Again, perfect distance. It tilted its head once more, and this time, Michael felt it clearly. Not curiosity, contact, an attempt, not physical, something deeper. The signal between them strengthened, clean, stable. The connection was no longer accidental. It was forming structure. Behind them, the third hunter finally moved, just slightly, and everything changed. The pressure intensified instantly. The air became heavier, denser. Even the first hunter reacted. A subtle shift. Acknowledgement. Hierarchy. Michael understood. These were not random creatures. They were organized, structured, different levels, different responses. Weak, reactive, and dominant. And the dominant one was not reacting to Michael. It was evaluating him. And for the first time, Michael realized something far more dangerous than the infection. Some of them were already stronger than him. The second hunter moved again, not forward, around. Its motion was sharper now, more deliberate, no hesitation. It wasn't reacting anymore. It was adapting, searching. Michael felt the shift instantly, not through sight, through pressure, a change in the field around them. Subtle, but undeniable. The second hunter was no longer testing blindly. It was looking for a break, a weakness, a point where the signal failed. Michael didn't move. He didn't need to. For the first time, movement felt irrelevant. The system between them had replaced it. The hunter stepped to the side, then another step, closing distance, but not directly, circling, its posture low, controlled, ready to strike from an angle that bypassed whatever was holding it back. Michael turned his head before the movement completed. Not instinct, synchronization. He already knew. The moment aligned. Something shifted. The air between them warped. Not visibly, but enough to be felt. The second hunter froze mid-step. Its body locked instantly, muscles contracting, not in preparation, in resistance. It tried to push forward. The effort was visible now. Subtle tremor, a strain beneath the surface. Something was stopping it. Not physically, not externally. Internally, the signal had reached it, and it was rejecting it. Michael felt that resistance. Clear, sharp, different from the others. This one was fighting back. For a brief moment, the pressure shifted. The space between them compressed, like opposing forces colliding. Michael's breathing changed. Not faster, heavier. His chest tightened. Not from fear, from feedback. The connection was no longer passive. It was active. A push, and a counter-push. The second hunter strained again, this time harder. Its body leaned forward, just slightly, enough to test the limit. The distortion intensified. For a fraction of a second, it almost broke through. Michael felt it. A sudden spike. Instability. The system faltered, just for an instant. And in that instant, the third hunter moved. Not fast, not aggressive, precise. One step, and everything stopped. The pressure dropped, then reformed. Stronger, controlled. The second hunter froze completely. No struggle now, no resistance. Silence. The dominant one had intervened. Not to attack, to stabilize. Michael understood immediately. This wasn't random behavior. It was regulation. The system was not allowing escalation. Not yet. The first hunter remained where it was. Still, connected, unshaken. The second was no longer resisting, but it hadn't submitted. It was held, contained. The third hunter stepped slightly forward, and for the first time, Michael felt something new. Not pressure, not resistance. Evaluation. Direct, focused, as if something far more complex was looking through it, not at him, into him. Michael did not step back, but something inside him shifted. For the first time since the change, he felt the limit, not of his body, of his influence. He wasn't in control. He was part of an interaction he didn't fully understand. The third hunter tilted its head, slightly, not mirroring, not responding, judging. And in that moment, Michael realized something else. The signal was not just connecting them, it was ranking them. Red triangle pointed down King Yit's 26.3 cliffhanger. And in that hierarchy, he was not at the top. The pressure did not disappear. It stabilized, controlled, balanced between them. On the rooftop, nothing moved, but everything was active. The first hunter remained still, connected. The second held in place, contained. And the third watched, not like a predator, not like a creature, like a node, a higher function. Michael stood at the center of it, not by choice, by position. The signal flowed through him, not originating, not ending, passing through. For a brief moment, everything aligned. The hunters, the pressure, the space between them, even the city itself. And then, something answered, far beyond the visible skyline, deep inside structures that had survived the collapse. Buried systems, dormant layers, code that had never been shut down. It activated, not fully, but enough. A new process initialized. Data streams began to form. Not chaotic, structured, focused. Signal convergence detected. Pause. Multiple nodes engaged. Another pause. Unknown variable present. The system did not recognize him, but it detected him, and that was enough. Back on the rooftop, Michael felt the shift. Subtle, but undeniable. The signal changed. Not stronger. Directed. Focused on him. For the first time, it wasn't just interaction. It was observation. The third hunter adjusted slightly. A minimal movement. But the effect was immediate. The pressure stabilized further. The system had found a balance. Temporary, but functional. Michael understood something then. This moment was being recorded, measured, analyzed, not by the hunters, by something behind them, above them. The network expanded. Across the city, red lights activated one by one. Distant rooftops, abandoned towers, broken infrastructure, points of observation, tracking, locking. The system was no longer searching blindly. It had a reference point. Him. Within the hidden layers of the corporation, classification protocols began to shift. Old categories failed. New ones were required. Behavioral deviation exceeds baseline. Pause. Synchronization pattern unstable. Another pause. Reclassification required. A brief silence. Then, a decision. Assign temporary designation. The system processed, compared, adjusted. Node M02. On the rooftop, Michael lifted his head. He didn't hear the words, but he felt them, like something had just defined him. Not as a person, not as a survivor, as a function. The signal reacted, subtly, but enough. The first hunter shifted, closer. The second remained restrained. The third continued to observe. The system had made its first step, and now it would make the next. Somewhere in the dark, a voice spoke. Cold. Precise. Stability increasing. Pause. Catalyst integration progressing. The word settled. Catalyst. Michael looked toward the horizon, not searching anymore. Understanding. He was no longer being tracked. As a survivor, he was being integrated, measured, prepared, and for the first time, the fear returned, not of the hunters, not of the city, but of what came next. Because this time, the system would not wait. Red triangle pointed down Finalny Cliffhanger, and somewhere beyond the network, a new command was issued. Begin retrieval phase.